Oh man, it's starting to get hot out here. I think that this is one of the first 100-degree days that we've gotten this year. But today we're going to be investigating. We're going to be investigating some of the bodies that were found here at Lake Mead. Who were they? What was the cause of death? How were they found? And just go over the whole story about these people. A lot of people are interested in this subject because when the water was going down, bodies were getting found left and right. So today we're going to do a little bit of investigating. Like I said, check out the spots, check out some of the water, and just see what's happening here at Lake Mead. We got Juju. A lot of people are commenting that you're the best fisherman out in Nevada right now.
You know it.
Catching a fish under the boat, unheard of. Bet you can't do it again.
I probably could do it again.
We'll see.
They give me a little bit of time with Ned Rig and it's gonna happen.
Yes, sir. We've got the man, the myth, the legend, Adrian Sr. right there. What are you holding a little spear for? Come on, huh?
Just in case I see a big carp.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a lot of you guys have questions and stuff about the bodies that were found. You guys also asked about Craig. Craig, if you haven't seen it, I'll put the link right there up in that corner. Click on that. There's a video where we helped a guy get out of a bad situation. He was stuck in the mud when the water was dropping. A lot of people still wondering about Craig. We're gonna go down there and show you the sandbar he was stuck on and see how it looks today. From what I heard, he moved out of town. He went to Phoenix after all that stuff happened. So we'll take a look around. Update you guys.
That'll be very interesting. You ready to start investigating, Ju?
Yep, I'm ready.
Well, let's do it.
I'm ready.
So right here where I am is where the whole story begins. May 1st of 2022, there was a barrel found on the edge of the water here as the water was going down. Right around here somewhere on this little edge. There was a body in a barrel that was shot in the back of the head. So that one was by far a very interesting part of the story. And back when they dumped them in the 70s or 80s, this water was 100 feet higher. So we talk about all the time, the people that threw him out here, never in a million years would have ever guessed that he would be found. But sure enough, you know, years later, the water drops 100 feet and they find him. They actually haven't identified the body yet. It's just thought to be mafia related. They say he died somewhere between the mid 70s, early 80s by his clothes and just telling how long he's been in the water and stuff like that. They've been trying to identify him. And they actually thought they had him identified for a little while, but from what I've heard, they haven't identified that body yet. How does that make you feel, Drew, knowing that somebody got murdered and thrown in a barrel right there?
It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Think that we're just fishing right here and it's crazy.
What do you think?
I'm sure there's a lot more bodies and lakes all over the United States. It's just a lot of them don't fluctuate a lot. So this was just a rare case of the water dropping 20, 30 feet in a month. And everything that was within that layer just got exposed, and a fisherman or somebody's always going to find it once it's exposed, because there's people all over this lake.
Yeah. All right, we've got a mystery object that we do not know what it is. We were headed back to Colville and I saw something that I don't remember ever seeing in the past, so I have no clue what it is. We're gonna check it out and see if we can figure out what it is. It almost looks like a boat of some sort. All right, we're getting up on this mystery object. Here looks like one piece of it. Looks like some sort of tub or something. Wouldn't doubt if that went to one of the old marinas. I don't know what it would be doing around here. If you ask me, that looks like it's one of the floaties to the marinas. Seriously don't know what that'd be doing out here, because the marina is way over there on that side of the lake. And the other marina is way over there on that side of the lake. So this thing's far from home. Oh yeah, wasn't sure what it was from way out there, but this is definitely from one of the marinas. 4 massive tires out here that probably broke off a marina a long time ago and drifted out this way. I always wondered how they got them to float. There's big chunks of styrofoam in them. I also wonder how old these things are. For them to be here, they gotta be super old. What is that sign down there? I've never seen that sign either. Oh, it's a mile marker. We must be up at the old water level. I think we are. The original water level. There's an old mile marker 6. These are neat though. These tires are a lot bigger than they might look. It's hard to do them justice, but you can see me next to them. They're massive tires. What's crazy is you could tell the water's been up here before. These are those mussels. Pretty cool to see. They're absolutely everywhere. This whole beach is littered with them. Look at the size of these shells. Jeez. That's one serious shell right there. For freshwater. So So a lot of you that have been following for a while, one of your favorite videos that we've ever posted, at least a lot of you guys, is our little series where we helped out a guy named Craig that got his houseboat stuck on a sandbar out here when the water was going down. Well, this is the area of the lake. It might look a lot different now. His houseboat was stuck somewhere right here. Now I know it doesn't look like it now, but there's a big flat beach down here. So if the water were to go down a couple feet, that whole thing just dries up very fast. And his boat was stuck here. And it's all just flooded over now. So a lot of people also ask, where has he been? What's up with him? You know, where's the update on that guy? From what we heard, he moved back to Phoenix, Arizona. That's at least what I heard. He really appreciated all the gifts that you guys sent him to his P.O. box and stuff, and we got his houseboat out. So he was very happy. You guys are amazing for even helping us do that in the first place. So if you guys aren't familiar with Colville Bay, this is the marina right behind me. And it was a very popular tourist destination back in the day. Beautiful areas, just like all the other marinas out here. And a lot of people would come out to this area of the lake. But this is also one of the areas out here where the second body was found at Lake Mead. It was on May 7th. Two sisters were actually just walking out here. I think they were like paddleboarding and stuff and just having a good time on the lake. And they found some bones, a little pile of bones that they thought were big orange sheep. And they started digging at them, and they actually found the lower jaw of a human and kind of the skull, and they knew it was a human. So of course they called the cops, and they came out here, and the whole investigation started. They actually identified the body as Thomas Ernst. You know, I might not be pronouncing these names right. I think he was from San Francisco, and he was 42 when he died. Now it's sad. He really loved coming out here, from what I've heard. He went out with his family, brought a couple kids and his wife, and they came out at night to come out and enjoy the water. And it was pitch black out here. He jumped in the lake, and his family, from what they say, they don't remember anything but him starting to scream for help. And obviously they couldn't help him. He had 2 little kids on the boat and his wife, and just solid black. He was screaming for a little bit, asking for help. They were throwing life jackets over, and eventually he just went under. So they started looking for him, never did find him until last year. He actually drowned on August 2nd of 2002. When a lot of people start swimming out in lakes like this, accidents do happen, but those are very sad to hear about. And I couldn't imagine, you know, coming out with your family for a good old night swim and not making it back home. So out here on Swim Beach is where they actually found the 3rd body. Now that was July 25th. They had found partial human remains. The picture's kind of gruesome, so we won't show it, but they found a lower torso of somebody's body out here on the beach. Some people were swimming around and stumbled across it. They just happened to find a human torso. The next 2 other discoveries of bones and body parts were of the same guy on this beach. They had found some of his body in July. Some teams were out here just looking, trying to find it up, and at the time they weren't sure if it was different people or the same person. And it turned out, you know, the power of DNA had figured out that all 3 pieces were from the same human. One of them was like a torso, and he was kind of spread a little bit throughout this beach. And it's crazy because we were actually out here talking and interviewing people on this beach, literally probably only yards away from where his body was at the time. Just kind of creepy. We interviewed a guy fishing right there at the exact spot they found him. But this guy actually had gotten identified as Claude Russell, I don't know if I could pronounce his last name right, Pensinger. He was 52 when he died. They say he was a Coast Guard and Navy vet, so he was good at swimming. But July 14th, 1998, he was out here fishing with his brother. He was on his own boat and his brother was on his own boat. He ended up falling overboard somehow. Who knows how, people aren't sure, but his boat just got found doing circles out here. Kind of what we like to call a death circle for boats. The dangerous thing about boating is that when you fall off, a lot of times when your engine's going, your boat will start doing circles and you cannot get back on it. And that's what causes people to drown. Now when he died out here, the water was over 100 feet higher. So the water actually went all the way to the edge of those buildings down there, like the old campgrounds and stuff. So you could see how far off the edge he was out here fishing when he happened to fall off. So I mean, you can't swim all the way over there, and you can't get on your boat, so it can be pretty dangerous. So one of the biggest things about boating safety, if you're gonna get a boat, we're gonna give you a very important tip right now that you have to follow. What is that?
This red lanyard right here, this hooks somewhere onto your body, and it hooks on there. And if for some reason you get thrown overboard and this pulls off because it's attached to you, this is an automatic stop. It turns off your boat. Now what ends up happening, and this happened to me before, say you have it attached to you, you're driving and there's something flapping around over there, something that's about to fall off, so you unhook it from yourself, Some people will leave the motor running because it's in neutral, so they think nothing's gonna happen. And then when they get up to stand and walk that way, this happened to me. I took off my lanyard, something was flapping, and then you walk right here and you bump this. It shouldn't go forward, but sometimes you bump it, and that bump puts it in gear, shooting the boat off probably 20 miles an hour, and then you fall back. This boat is bigger, so the time I did it and it took off, I fell back right here like this, and then I was able to do it. But a smaller boat, sometimes the edge is here, you go over, then your boat circles around, and a lot of times the boat will run you over unless you swim away from it. If there's no other boats around, you're stuck in the water and you have to, you know, swim to the edge or whatever.
Yeah, so if you're not familiar with this thing, this is your throttle on your boat. So that's why he's saying if you bump it, you're just gonna start going, because this is your gas pedal. This is how you decide to go forward, backwards, and which direction you're gonna move. So it's just a safety thing. You have to wear this while your engine's on. Important, right?
Yeah, this is important right here.
So this is where the last body was found. It was actually the 6th set of remains found at the lake. And what's crazy is when they found this, people weren't sure how many bodies were found yet, because the DNA hadn't really identified a lot of the body parts, and they weren't sure if it was 6 different bodies, if it was the same.
It ended up being 4 bodies total, but the one that was found on Swim Beach, they thought it was like 3 different people because they found the pieces separate. So yeah, 4 total. We originally thought 6 or 7 people.
So this, inside Colville, by one of the divers, they found the last body that has been found here so far. This man's been missing since 1974. Long time, and they found him. They just identified him this year. It's good to see. He's been missing a long time. This story is actually pretty crazy. So this guy, he was coming out to enjoy the water a little bit, and his wife had said that he had been drinking just a little bit, but came out to the lake anyways. Where it gets weird is they said that he had a shotgun and a pistol with him in his boat. And when he came out to the lake, he had some buddies not far from him. They said they saw him fall in the water, and they got there about a minute later and couldn't find him, said he sank too fast. And when the police came and everything, his guns were gone, and a lot of stuff was just weird. But we ended up falling out here a long time ago, and a scuba diver, he was down there working. Did you catch one?
Oh, fish home. Fish home. It's every time something happens, like I find a bug or something, I always get a bite. Oh, he's pretty big.
Oh.
Let me grab the net.
We got color.
Bring it up, bring it up, bring it up.
Oh my, he's dodging the net. You got him? Oh, that's a good fish.
Yep, so that guy over there, he was...
That's a good size of smallie right there. Heck yeah.
Alright.
How does it feel catching that fish?
Feels good.
Where people have gone up missing before and drowned on the lake and been sitting down here for years.
You gotta make it so sad. Nah, yeah, it's pretty cool to catch fish. It is a crazy thought that, you know, some people just come out here like us just any other day and then never make it back. It's pretty sad.
Crazy though, but one of the scuba divers that we know out here, he's out here working on the marina, and he turned up some bones, and they came out the next day and found some more bones, and they later identified that guy. So, you know, it's crazy to see, it's crazy to hear all these stories of people going missing for long times on this lake. It's a pretty old lake, so people have been going missing quite a bit out here for many years. There's plenty of stories too of men that have been found on days we're out here, and people going and just taking a dive and they never come back up. So you never know. A crazy thought is a lot of these bodies, they found them and they don't really know what the cause of death was. When you just find a body that's been sitting in the water for a long time and they're so decomposed, you can't really tell, was it a murder? Was it a drowning? Was it, what was the cause of death? A heart attack, whatever. Some of these I wouldn't doubt if in the future, if any more bodies do pop up, if some of them turn out to be a murder case. Because a lot of people comment all the time that they know the mafia was in Vegas for a long time, real heavy in like the 70s and stuff. Obviously with the guy in the barrel proves it, that they did dump out at Lake Mead. So who's to say that that didn't happen more often? And who knows the full story? You know, these people can't tell their story and their bodies can't either. So you never know. You just never know. Those are the untold mysteries of Lake Mead.
So we talked about all the bodies and stuff. A lot of you guys wanted to know that information because it's been hitting the news. I think it was on 2020 also on TV. So we just thought we'd share that, do a little YouTube video on it. But now that we're done explaining that, we're gonna do a little bit of fishing, do a fishing report, and then later on in the week we'll do a water update for all the water levels and stuff.
So this is one reason Lake Mead can be dangerous. weatherman was saying it's not going to be super bad, and we got some wind. Whenever it starts to get windy, we like to throw in a little bit of a life jacket just in case. You never know. You can see we got some good waves kicking up out in the main lake. They're going to be a lot higher than this, but those are pretty good. Although it storms sometimes at the lake, the fish still bite. Seeing you got a nice one. Ooh. Ooh. Get this bait, get his bait, get his bait.
Get my bait, get my bait.
Bait and all.
Ah, come on. Hooked him right in the top of the mouth.
That's a pretty good fish.
Not a bad one. I'm gonna release him. How big's it feel, you?
Oh, that's pretty big.
Your PB?
Oh, catfish.
Oh,
No way. Catfish? Oh, let's take him home and eat them. You want him?
Nah,
You want him or not?
alright.
He's a fat catfish. Oh, slapped by another fish.
Yeah, stick
Every
to the
trip.
damn on. While you're sitting 20 minutes squeezing a dang fish.
Fish on. Ooh.
Oh, another decent little fish.
Got him. We're done.
Y'all getting wet or what? You all good, Jude? Guess so. We all good out here?
Oh, this is crazy. If I'm not home by dinner, just wait longer. Hey! We went crossing. There were probably 3-foot rollers.
Man, things got real crazy there really fast. Those are some of the dangers of Lake Mead. We're all soaked. Juju got soaked.
Well, I think I got it that bad.
You got soaked. We just got hammered by a storm. That's one of the worst storms we got caught in a long time out here. The weatherman got it pretty wrong. We could just say that because they were calling for at most 13, and that was probably 25, 30.
You call this 8-mile-an-hour winds? Yeah,
Oh man.
I'm covered.
He got soaked.
Well, we've had a pretty good day out here today. Can't complain. Caught a lot of fish. Had a great time. Just another one to end the day off, right? But great time out here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We explored the lake. We went over some of the stories about some of the people who have, you know, unfortunately passed. Our condolences are out to those families. You know, I'm sure that the people that got identified, the families got closure and they're happy. So we're glad to hear that. But we actually almost got caught in the storm too today. Juju got soaked and everything, but we're still out here. Wind calmed down a little bit and had a good time. So I really do appreciate you guys for watching today's video. Comment down below what else you'd like to see. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you outdoors.